Oh, did you grade it yet?
Both equals, but only to show Rishi how I wanted him to grade it. We're gonna go over some things in class, and if you're quick, you might be able to beat him to it. So.
Yeah, it's the same number.
I still go.
All right, let's get this show on the road. How we all feeling? Tired. Tired? I feel that. Just a quick note, we're recording today. That way I can put this in Canvas for future semesters, because just based on early polling today, you guys don't actually get any sort of spreadsheet introduction prior to this class, which blows my fucking mind. So that said, I want to give you guys a little bit of an introduction to spreadsheets because it's a little bit important. Guys, I run my entire life through spreadsheets. I was telling a couple of students that were here early that, do you guys all remember the survey that you took in Module 1 that told you about your career paths? Was that pretty accurate? Give or take?
Yes.
That is all automated through a spreadsheet. I don't touch a damn thing. The email that it sends you, that's all run through a spreadsheet. The calculations and the formulations, that's all run through a spreadsheet. It is all automated. I don't touch a damn thing. Someone mentioned Zapier, and you have to pay for that, because basically all that does is it takes information from a spreadsheet and it creates emails for you. I did it for free because I know how to use a spreadsheet. It's really great. So that said, before we even get started with that, I asked a couple of questions, and that was, do you know what the wedding date was? For the future generations that are watching online, your wedding date is going to be different because it changes every semester. Your numbers might also be different because that changes every semester. So for you guys here in class, your wedding date is December 5th. Okay?
It's like December something, right?
Yeah, December something, but December 5th is going to be important, and it's going to be really, really important for Lab 3.4. Okay? I do expect the proper date to be in there. Okay? Additionally, it's going to be really important for your project in Module, yes, we are in Module 3. So, that said, you need to know what the wedding date is, because when you go to plan the honeymoon, there's a couple of buffers that you need to have in mind, okay? Any questions on the wedding date? Is that not what someone came up with? No, we're all on December 5th? Sweet. That said, as I mentioned, there is a pandemic of students who don't know how to use a spreadsheet. Is Susan Arons with us? Hi, Susan. You did wonderfully. Good job. So I'm actually going to be using your spreadsheet as a template today. But I cleared several things. That way we can all do it together. Here's the cool thing. Who submitted a Google link? Yay, good job. Here's the thing. Those Google links are live. So you can make edits. You can make links up until the very moment that Rishi decides that he wants to grade this morning and change things. He's already awake, so you might want to do this now, okay? That's it. If you have a laptop with you, I would recommend let's open up all of the resources that I gave you in 3.2. There should be a vendor list, there should be a venue list, and then probably the brief. Am I missing anything?
I believe that was it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's just go through and build this out, okay? There was something that I didn't see in a lot of people's spreadsheets, and that was this column here. Actually, technically, these two columns, okay? It is really, guys, what is a spreadsheet meant to do? All the math for you. Who doesn't like math? Me too. So let's have something else do it for us, okay? You don't need to know math in order to do this. You just need to know how the math works. So, that said, how much was the wedding planner? That's all of you.
3K.
3,000. So, Here we have it listed as quantity, hour, items. We're not really working with that here, right? We just kind of gave a flat rate. Am I correct there? Someone correct me if I misstate anything. So in the quantity, we can just say 1 because we're giving a flat rate, and then 3,000. Okay. Also, it's really nice, thank you, Susan, for doing this, to actually format your columns. Notice that when I typed in 3,000 there, it showed up with the dollar sign. That tells us what we're working with here. We're working with money, not just numbers. Okay. Venue. This one was a little interesting, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah.
There were a couple of things that made this a little bit tricky, right? It should have been broken out into 2 prices. Does everyone know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay. So what was the initial rate?
1,500.
1,500 per hour, right? So how might I come in here and insert that? It was for the first 8 hours, right?
10 hours.
First 10 hours? Okay.
First 8 hours.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was the first 8 hours.
State.
So first 8 hours was $1,500.
Then the last 2 were the time and a half.
Correct. So what's 1,500 by time and a half?
22.50. Because
Someone did their homework. Good job, Kipper. Okay, so already right there, we have some numbers populating. Everyone up to speed? Yes.
So I just did it in 1 row, so that's bad.
I will explain why you want to have these broken out in a minute.
Okay.
It's really helpful when you need to make micro changes.
Okay.
Invitation design, that was what, a flat rate?
yes,
Okay, how much was my flat rate?
7.
Well, like 700, that's it, like nothing else, just 700.
Okay. Catering, this one got a little funky as well. Tell me a little bit about how the catering works.
Was.
Kimber, you're pulling all of this from memory. You just walked through the class. You can open your screen if you want.
$50 per guest.
Yes, that's what it was.
Was it?
$50 per guest.
Okay.
Which if you did the 300 minimum.
Minimum of 300.
So,
The PK, yeah.
really quickly, how many guests does Anita plan to have at her wedding?
275.
Ah, okay. So something happened, right? What happened that caused that?
Like some limit on revenue.
Correct. So Villa Sienna, did I get that correctly? Yes. Villa Sienna has a maximum venue size.
Oh.
They have a maximum limit on the amount of people that they can have in their venue. And that number was 275. Anita wanted to have 300, but she could only have 275 because of the number of people that the venue can host.
By that, because I saw 275 seating and 275 standing,
Mm.
which made me think that it was those 2.
Yeah, it was clearly written.
So, a little bit of confusion there, right? That's okay. So, I will tell you all the correct answer is 275. Okay. So, we've got 275 people. We can put that in the quantity column, okay? Scott, you mentioned this, why having the columns broken out rather than putting them in 2 columns? What if at a later date, the venue changes? And you can then have more people in that venue. Then you don't have to go back through your spreadsheet and wonder, God, how many people did I calculate that for or whatever? You can just update the number of people and the catering and the whole thing should update for you, okay? Automate your lives. Get more information out of this thing. Okay, this thing sucks. It's really unreliable. All right. So that said, we've got the catering in there now. Now let's do dessert. This one was another slightly tricky one. Yes? Yeah? Okay. How did this work?
Dollar
For
per
the
room, but a
catering,
minimum of
it was
300.
minimum discount is 300.
What was that?
For catering, the minimum discount is 300.
The minimum is 300. Okay, so we have another thing. Thank you for catching that.
Yeah.
So while the venue can only seat 275, because my question before was how many guests can Anita have? the amount of food that she has to order, there is a minimum order quantity from the caterer, right, which is 300.
Yeah.
So if you ordered for 300, you were still in a roundabout way correct.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's
So
go.
notice that I put some. Does anyone ever bold?
Hmm.
Bowling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You put some
When you
like
put
that.
those guardrails up, the bumpers, I put some bumpers in place for you guys, but I want you all to know that those bumpers don't stay in place for very long. Okay. So that said, coming back to the dessert for a minute, there was another kind of oddity here. So let's think again, how many guests Anita has?
275.
275. I keep hearing 300. Take it easy on that. Okay. Anita has 275 guests. The macarons that she's ordering from Macron Magic, Anita specified that she wants enough for every guest to have 2 plus 10 extra, right? Somebody do that math in their head.
560.
560. Okay. So what's the problem there?
Minimum order 600.
There's a minimum order quantity of 600. Okay. So you cannot order less than the minimum order quantity. Okay. So automatically, what does that do? That means we come up here, we order a quantity, and what is it? $1 per macron?
Yeah, so let's do $600.
Okay. So there we go. Florist, I believe this was a flat rate.
Yeah.
What's the flat rate?
Something
5,000.
5,000.
Wait, but what about the 10 extra for the?
It's already included in the minimum.
Good.
That's
So
already been-
10 extra is already included in the minimum.
Yeah, because you only need 560 to hit the minimum.
There you go.
Oh, wait,
That's another common thing that happens between the venue price and the macrons and yeah, those are up. Sometimes the catering, those are the things that typically go wrong. Yeah, I can. Sorry about that. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Is that more better? Sorry about that. Okay. Entertainment flat rate, right? Or was it hourly?
Oh,
Hourly?
that was
Okay.
hourly, yeah.
What's the hourly rate?
250.
250, 5 hours.
And for 5 hours. Thank you. Oops. Okay, notice something that I did there. I'm gonna leave this like this because I'm gonna show you what happens when you start putting text in your number fields. Okay. Guys, what did I mention that spreadsheets are used for? Doing all the math for you, automating, yes. So you guys need to know how to put formulas into spreadsheets. If you don't know how to do this, it's super easy. Put equals on one side. That is the beginning of a formula, right? Then we can start doing the math. And fun fact, Google Sheets is going to try to guess what it wants, what you think it should do. Okay. It actually got it right here. What am I trying to do in this price column? I'm trying to multiply the quantity by the amount that is in the second column, right? In column D. So it actually did the math correctly here. I'm just going to hit enter. And it gave me my total price for that line item. Now what I can do, if I select on that cell here, see how it's got this blue box with a dot? If I want to apply that same formula to all of those lines, I just need to click that dot. Whoa, hang on. Why my dictionary popped up there. I just need to click on that dot and drag it down. Nah, dot. Yes.
Is there a difference between just doing like the cell times the cell versus the product and then in parentheses cells you want?
Product and then
Like
product
if
and
you do equal product and then in parentheses like cell C6 to D6.
I do-
you might be overdoing it there.
Oh, that was the only thing I knew.
So just so that I understand a little bit better, you're saying product
No, equals product.
equals product. And then you're doing that?
Yeah.
It's doing the same thing. Basically, you're just writing out product instead of selecting the cells and putting a plus. So I'm trying to teach you guys how you probably learned math in high school as opposed to like using formal math language. But I would imagine that an AI would probably have you do it that way for some odd reason. I don't know. Yeah.
Would you show what the formula is again?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, let me get rid of this. I'm going to actually build the formula because I want you guys to see how you can make your own here. You can do equals. I'll select that first cell that I want it to multiply. In Sheets, the multiplication symbol isn't an X, it's an asterisk. So just keep that in mind. And then I'll select D6 and then I'll just hit enter. Okay. Now, if you're building your own formula, you're going to get a suggested autofill. In this case, it works. It won't always. So just be careful with that. I can hit yes. All right. How are we doing? Good? Yes.
So you said that we can alter our spreadsheet until it's graded, but we can't alter if we got the wrong number, then we're kind of screwed, right?
If you got the wrong number, you're a little screwed on that, but I'm going to look over it. Okay. And Rishi, I didn't even give him instructions to look at the email. But what I'm looking for in the email more than anything was, were you able to justify some of the things if you were over or under, or maybe had to make a change? I wanted to see that. Yeah.
Are you supposed to be under or over?
We'll get there. I'm going to give you the answer to the test here, okay? I saw other hands. Or did everyone have a similar question? Okay. So we noticed something down here. What's happening?
It's error.
An error, right? Why is it error?
Because that X.
Right,
Yeah,
so-
in there.
This is why it's important not to, you want to separate church and state a little bit. And what I mean by that is you want text in text fields and you want numbers in number fields. You assign a field to be a number, let that be a number. Okay. If you assign a field to be a text, let that be text. Don't mix and mingle them unless maybe you're writing a note. Okay. So because I've already written the formula, I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to remove that X. Formula fixed. No more error. Okay. So let's take a look over here. Now I have this total section. So we've talked about formulas a little bit. What do I want to do in order to get that formula? Or better yet, what do I want to do in order to get that total?
Sum.
I want to do a sum function. Okay. Not SOME, SUM. Okay. So someone walk me through this. Obviously, I'm going to hit enter because that's how we get it. Oh, would you look at that? The answer's right there. But it's like the spreadsheet wants to do it for you. Okay, enter. There's our sum. Okay. There's a little bit of a problem with that number, I think, but we'll double check it in a second. Also,
I think I know why you do, it's like the actual writing it out over the equation.
what was that?
I think I figured out why you do the writing out over the equation,
Okay, why is that?
because the writing it out, you can do a, whatever that symbol is, I forgot the name. The one in between the cells, to go through multiple cells.
The colon.
Yeah, the colon. That's-
Yeah, so you can do that with a regular function though. So here, if I had let me do it like this. And it's going to depend because you might run into a scenario where it does make more sense to write it out versus add. I could just as easily come in here and do this plus this plus this plus this plus this.
Automated.
But that's not one, that took me a heck of a lot longer than just typing sum. Okay. But also, yeah, it's missing a little bit of automation. Whereas instead I can just do sum and problem solve. Yeah.
I believe I see where I might have messed up somewhere, but I'm gonna ask this question.
Okay.
With the Macron magic, it was the 2 per guest plus 10 extra.
So I would imagine you probably did
Yeah.
that.
No, I did, actually, what's funny is I did the 300 and so I have 610. So I did 600
Yeah.
plus 10.
So you probably ended up with that.
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
Yeah. Off.
So this is where, and this is going to be important for your guys' future labs, particularly lab 3.4. the way in which something is worded can change the outcome. Right? If I had said the total number of guests that Anita had hoped to have versus the total number of guests, those are two different things. And that's like a 1 or 2 word difference. Right? And as a project manager, or even just as a designer, we have clients just dishing out commands at all times, right? And we have to be able to process those commands really, really quickly and be able to decipher exactly what they want. It's really interesting. And sometimes we have to read minds. That's fun. Here's what I mean by that. My A session that's running this semester, they are doing a cocktail. Actually, it's a mocktail brand. And the feedback that I gave to them was, we're kind of bridging this line between biker gang and medieval times, I think was the word that I was using. They have this like Gothic font that just wasn't quite, they were trying to create a tarot look, like tarot cards. And we just weren't quite getting there. So the only feedback I gave them was like, we've got to be really careful with what we're doing here, because we're kind of in this space where we might be a biker gang, we might be medieval times, but it's not quite reading as tarot deck. And nowhere in there did I say the word font, but the lead for that project picked up on the fact that, oh, he probably doesn't like the font. That was a little bit of mind reading that had to happen, and I intentionally did that because I wanted them to pick up on it, right? So listening to what people say and interpreting that in a way that allows you to make those strategic design decisions is critical. All right, let's keep going.
So the macarons are 600 or 610?
It should be 600.
600.
Yeah. Sorry, I wanted to make some adjustments there.
That was
Yeah.
my.
All good. It happens. I'm not sure where this 50. Oh no, that does make sense. Okay. So let's I'm gonna back out a little bit. Can you guys still see that okay? Okay, sorry, it was like a lot for me. Okay, let's go down the list here. Decor. And this should just have a flat fee,
Yeah.
right? So 1, what's the price? Invitation printing and mailers,
Also flat,
flat rate, how much?
1,000.
Let's do this. We already know what our formula is, right? So let's just set it up to begin with. Here we go. We'll set it up here. And then we'll get to that in a second. So I want you guys to see how it updates dynamically. Party favors, flat rate, how much? Bride's wedding dress, flat rate, how much?
3,300.
Bride's veil,
500.
bride's shoes,
820.
what was it?
820.
820. Groom's tuxedo jacket.
350.
Wow, you just have, oh, you're looking.
I'm looking at that.
I was gonna say, we're probably looking at.
Tuxedo pants,
150.
shirt,
80.
shoes.
150. Sorry, I thought it was all for a second.
Maid of honor dresses, plural, how many are there?
4.
1.
There's 1.
Wait, there's only one because
There's
I'm
only
made
maid
of
of
honor,
honor
not the
dress.
bride.
That's maid of honor.
Alright, there you go. Alright, so what's the price?
200.
Maid of honor shoes,
150.
best man tuxedo jacket,
350.
pants,
150.
best man shirt, best man shoes,
150.
bridesmaids dresses, how many are there?
Now we're getting into the 4.
4, okay, how many per each?
200.
800. No?
What?
200. 200. Sorry.
Yep.
Listen.
Bridesmaid shoes,
450.
Yeah.
groomsmen tux jackets,
350.
sorry, one more time,
350.
tux pants, 150 each, okay, groomsmen shirts,
80 each.
groomsmen shoes,
150 each.
okay, so. There was, if you set up your sheet this way, you very quickly would have caught the issue that was in the spreadsheet. Or that was in the numbers that were provided to you, right?
I didn't, I just did it all by hand.
Yeah. So that said, in the numbers that I provided to you guys,
Like I got the mistake, but
it
that
was actually that, right?
I
Yep,
could
yep.
see it. That's one thing I did miss.
So down here, the groomsmen shoes, that one should be 600, not 300. Okay. So now we have 14,250 down here and 4205 42,050. Yeah, that's a weird way to say that. And we have our total wedding budget up here of 80,000, right? Now we can do some math down here. We can say equals, and it's going to get, notice how I said that sometimes it gets it right, sometimes it gets it wrong. It's getting it wrong. If I do this, what's happening?
Just doing the same thing.
I'm just doing this
Yeah.
math all over again. Okay, so we're gonna have to know how to do a little bit of formula input here. I'm gonna do enter and I'll select, actually, let's do a sum. So here, I'll do a sum, I'll add a parenthesis, I'll select the first cell that I want in there, comma, so that I can add a second function. Roll up to the top and I'll add that guy in there and I'll close my parenthesis. Who got 56.3? Woo! Good job, guys. That's the correct answer. Make sure to add a dollar sign on that. And that. So now we also want to know how much funds we have remaining, right? That's the whole point of a budget, is not to know. I mean, you want to know how much you spend, but you also kind of want to know how much you have left. So what we can do here is we can do an equals. And there's a nice reason that we have this $80,000 up here, right? I can select that. Whoops, I overselected. There we go. This may not work. Give me a sec. We'll figure this out. I'll do minus. And then we'll subtract the grand total from the actual total. That's how much money you have left. Okay, helpful?
Yes.
All right. I'm not even kidding, guys. I really wish you would have learned this in like your prereqs. Here you are, you're in a senior level class or a grad level class. It's okay, we're gonna get through it. But guys, I'm not even kidding. Is everyone here okay with me sharing their grades from module 2 assignment? Better yet, let me ask it in the other direction. Would you guys be okay with me? If you're not okay with me sharing your grade, raise your hand. Okay, so I have everyone's consent to share grade here. Okay. This is the spreadsheet that I made for grading the module 2 assignment. All I do is I basically up here is the rubric and I set the criteria in there. And then at the end, I can type some instructor comments. And this, it's automatically calculating the grade. It's going through everything over here and it's saying, okay, this is true, this is true, this is true. And it's calculating the grade there based on the weight that I put up here. So let's say that I was like, you know what? I don't want this last section to be 25%. I actually want it to be 20%. Then I'll make this one 10. Actually, that's a bad example, but notice that the grade automatically updated there just because I changed the percentage. That's the type of automation that you guys should be thinking about, is like future-proofing your spreadsheets. But not only that, check out this formula. It automatically produces the message for you dynamically based on what I selected over here. So everyone watch what happens to the second bullet point right here. See how it currently has a green check mark? It updated the text and it gave you a red check mark. Right? So it's doing that dynamically based on what I've selected. Guys, this is an easy spreadsheet because all it is are true and false. See this one here? You answered 7 segments of the worksheet accurately. If I come over here, change this to 2, you answered two of the segments of the worksheet accurately. Okay, so it's actually updating based on what input I give it. Sorry. You can do some really powerful things with spreadsheets. Do you guys want to see the spreadsheet from module 1? Very cool. That one's actually even more advanced. Okay. So you guys are down here. Could you imagine me sending, let's see, what line item are we on? Could you guys imagine me sending 106 emails in one day?
Yeah.
At your convenience? That would be impossible. Right? So what happens here is it takes all of those questions that you answered, here they all are. And then once you get to the end over here, by the way, that's a lot of data. It takes it and there's the formula. Let me actually do this. Okay, there's the formula. Pretty long. But it's also doing dynamic things. Everyone's is a little bit different, right? Let me actually go back. There we go. Now we can see it a little bit better. Everyone's is a little bit different. It allows you to create dynamic data much, much faster. Okay. Any questions on spreadsheets? We're good? Feel like we have a little bit more information now? Okay. Let's see. I might have enough time to still do our lecture. Let me
What was the quick total again for the assignment?
56.3.